Yo, give me a hand for that. First of all, I'd like to pay homage to Dr. Martin Luther King on his day this weekend. Without him, none of this would be possible. And we want to thank the Lord for making us, giving us the ability to be here tonight, because I tell you quite frankly, at the time when the incident occurred, I didn't know if we was going to make it or not. I hate to say that. We were coming down 2nd Avenue on 115th Street, and we made that left turn. This is the dreaded left turn on 2nd Avenue and 115th Street. We get to about 113th Street, and this car pulls over right in front of our path. Now, I'm telling you, it was no lights, and there was no siren, and there was no warning, and there was no PD announcement to pull over. They just stopped in front of our path and pulled us over. How many of y'all can relate to that? All of a sudden, there are 10 cars that come with this car and surround us completely. And the cops jump out of the car, and they got their guns drawn. And we're in a black Pathfinder with little tinted windows, okay? Because we like to have our windows tinted. You know what I'm saying? They got guns drawn on us. They tell us to open the door, roll down the window, put your hands up, get out of the car, keep your hands up, roll the window, unlock the door, and my hands is like this. Whatever you say. Everybody in the car's hands is like this. All right? So now we're trying to move as slowly as we can to the door lock to unlock the door. We don't want to make no moves, sudden moves like this, because that might mean the difference between life and death. We heard all the stories, and you think it wasn't going through our mind at that time? It was. So now the cops come with their guns drawn. There's about 15 cops surrounding the whole car with the guns drawn. And they're banging on the windows, and they're banging on the doors, and it sounds like a battering ram. But they're banging, until finally they break the back window of the car. And they stick their whole hand with the gun through the window, so now the gun is inside the car, and they got us covered. So now my man Spider-Man over here is in the passenger side in front of the car. So now we're all like crazy now, because we've been pulled over, like so many of us get pulled over every day, and by no means do we think that we're the only one that this ever happened to. This is just our turn again, okay? So now, the passenger door gets open. All right, they grab Spider-Man out of the car. Get the F out of the car. Stop before we shoot children. Get the look. And they grab him and they throw him to the ground. Excuse me, children. Excuse me. And they throw him to the ground, and he cuts his hand on the glass that they broke from our back window. On the floor, he bruises his shoulder. So now the driver, his name is Frank Evans, he's not here right now. They finally get his door open. He finally opens his door. They grab him out of the car, and they punch him to his face. And they throw him to the ground. So now me, Black, and Latif are sitting in the back seat. So now we're bracing ourselves because we know where we're going. We're going down to the ground. All right? So now, instead of them forcing my door open, I unlock my door and I open my door. And I know that I'm going down. So they grab me and they push me down on the ground. So by this time we're saying, officer, what do we do? What's going on? We're musicians. We didn't do anything. We're in such and such group. We're in such a shut the F up. Did I ask you anything? And I'm on the ground and this one cop comes around and he runs around from this side of the car to this side of the car like this. And he starts me about, shut the hell up. And he starts me right in the side of my face and I had a bruise. So by this time, I'm petrified and I'm thinking about, and I'm sure we're all thinking about this Rodney King thing that went on in LA. So we're thinking about this Rodney King, so now I'm terrified, and this cop takes his foot, and he starts my head down again like this to make a sandwich with my head between the ground and his foot, to make sure I can't see who the hell is beating me down. All right? So now, okay, I'm on the ground, and we're going through this whole thing now. We're really scared, and we're asking them, yo, what's going on? They're not telling us anything. There's this one Hispanic cop, plain clothes. All these cops now are white. Male and female, they're all Caucasian. Okay? I wouldn't lie to you. All right? I see this Hispanic cop in the distance, because me and Frank Edwards are on the left side of the Pathfinder, and the rest of the guys are on the right side. Halfway under cars. You know what I'm saying? That's how far they feel these guys are under cars. It's snowing. It's cold, we're in front of the project, so everybody's watching now. This is a big thing now in the neighborhood. Okay? Hispanic cop sees me, and I think he recognizes me, and he goes over to one of his fellow officers, and I guess he tells him who I am. Me back at the car now, see, everybody's going through it. They got the female officers and a couple of officers. They're taking the speakers out of the car from on the door, and they're lifting up the back seat, and they're looking for whatever the heck they're looking for. We know what they were looking for, but the bottom line, they didn't find nothing. All right? They put us through all that, and they ain't find jack. Okay? So now we know that they know that they made a mistake. And I hear this female cop in the background saying about one of these other cops, I guess this is one of the guys that let me charge, that he's an F-up. He's an F-up. That's why he doesn't want to, that's why she's glad he doesn't work with her, because he's an F-up. You know what I'm saying? So by the time now, we're around a half an hour now, and they're not telling us nothing. They're not saying you guys are suspects or anything for a crime that was committed. They're not reading us our rights. They're not arresting us. They're not handcuffing us. Now we're just on the ground with the big, I got him on the ground with a big fat eye, and we're hurt, and they're not saying anything to us. So by the time we lift our heads up, about half an hour later, all 12 cars are gone, except 2. They made the hugest mistake in their life, and they ran away like little babies, except for 2 cars. Now, when you're on the scene, on the crime scene, and you get injured, this is what we call EMS, right? So the cops that stay back, they say, do you want to file charges? You damn right I want to file some charges. Do you want to go and get some hospital attention? You damn right I want some medical attention. From the scene, they're supposed to call EMS to the scene and protect us and get some medical attention. But no, they tell us to jump back in our damaged Pathfinder and follow them back to the precinct so that way they can fill out a report. Which, by the way, we never did fill out a report at that precinct. By this time, by the time we get to the station, EMS is there and the news gets there. All right? EMS is there and the news gets there. So now, once we finish talking to the people that we have to talk to, they start tending to our wounds. I'm going to sum it up right now. When you go to the hospital, when the EMS comes, they have to fill out a pre-hospital care report, right? So on a pre-hospital care report, you tell what's wrong with the patient and why you're bringing the patient to the hospital. So we get the pre-hospital care report, and the officer in charge has to put his badge number down. Okay? By the time we get to the emergency room, we have to go register. When we register, they run us a check on the badge number that was given on the PCR. The police officer gave us a false badge number. So some shit is going on, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going on. And my people where I live, they're looking for me to stand forward and do something about this. And I can't do nothing about this unless we do something about this. Because it's not just me, it's everybody that's going to do something like this. So I need y'all to get behind us on this one. And don't ever die. Because if it happened to one of you kids and it happened to me, you better believe it's going to happen to you. So let's put this in the butt now. And as far as their dignity is concerned, if it's Jewish people, they be right at the city hall and they demand an explanation or a statement immediately. We haven't gotten a statement yet from Mayor Dickens. The only thing I got to say about you, brother, is I helped put you in the mayor's office too. And what about me? And I live in this city now. Y'all, we got to get something done about this.